Namaskar, this is Ishan, and you're watching History with Ishan, and wishing you all a very happy 88th Independence Day. And on this occasion, let's learn about Kittur Chennamma, India's forgotten warrior queen. So let's begin. 3 decades before the revolt of 1857, the uprising most of us learn about as India's first war of independence, a queen from a small kingdom in Karnataka had already picked up a sword and defeated a British army in open battle. Her name was Chennamma, Rani of Kittur, and outside Karnataka, almost nobody knows her story. Chennamma was born in 1778 in Kakati, a small village near Belgaum, to Dhulappa Gowda Desai and Padmavati. Like many royal daughters of her region, she was trained in horse riding, sword fighting, and archery from a young age. She married Mallasarja Desai, the ruler of Kittur, as his second wife. She wasn't just a consort. Historical accounts describe her as deeply engaged in statecraft, gradually taking on more control over the administration of the state, especially as her husband's health declined. By the early 1800s, Kittur was caught between two rising powers, the Marathas and the British. In 1818, the British seized the nearby Belgaum fort from the Peshwas, and Kittur was forced into an unequal treaty. It could keep its territory but had to pay a hefty yearly tribute and hand over a strategic district to the British. Chennamma was reportedly unhappy with these terms but had little choice at the time. Then came the succession crisis. When the heir to Kittur's throne died in 1824 after adopting a son named Shivalingappa to continue the line, the British invoked the doctrine of lapse, a policy that let them annex a kingdom if it lacked a natural male heir. It didn't matter that adoption was a completely legitimate practice under local custom. The British collector at Dharwar, John Thackeray, saw his opening. On October 21st, 1824, Thackeray summoned Chennamma to discuss safekeeping Kittu's treasury. She refused to meet him and instead prepared her forces. Thackeray arrived at the fort with his army. When his ultimatum to open the gates was ignored, Kittur's soldiers burst out and attacked. Chennamma herself stood on the fort's ramparts, directing her army in the fighting. In the chaos, one of her guards, Sadhunavar Balappa, shot and killed Thackeray as he tried to reach the summit. The British forces, disorganized and shaken, retreated. It was a stunning defeat for the company. The British came back for a second assault, but this time Kittur's defenses had already been compromised from within. According to historical accounts, the fort's gunpowder stores were sabotaged by traitors, leaving Chennamma's forces without working ammunition. On 3rd December 1824, the British overwhelmed the fort. 2 days later, Chennamma attempted to escape to continue the fight elsewhere but was stopped by guards. Her commander, Gurusidappa, Gurusidappa, and about 20 others were captured and later executed. Chennamma, along with two other women of the royal household, was taken prisoner and moved to Bailhongar Fort. She spent her remaining years in custody, reportedly still scheming to escape and resume the fight. She died there in 1829 at around 50 years old. Here's the part worth sitting with. This happened in 1824. Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi, the freedom fighter most England's immediate picture, wouldn't lead her own rebellion until 1858, more than 3 decades later. Today, Chennamma is remembered mainly in Karnataka through folk songs, an annual festival in Kittur, and a statue installed in the Indian Parliament complex in 2007. Rani Chennamma University in Belgavi carries her name. But nationally, her story remains far less known than it probably should be. Chennamma's revolt didn't succeed, but it proved decades before 1857 that Indian resistance to colonial rule wasn't going to wait to be organized on a national scale. It started in small kingdoms, led sometimes by queens, history almost forgot. So that's all. A brief plunge into the lesser known chapters of our freedom struggle and how queens like Chennamma from Kittur, Karnataka, played an important role, which is remembered now mostly through regional retellings or regional storytelling of the history of Karnataka mostly, and not on a national level and not into the mainstream narrative. So it's high time that we also know about these lesser known freedom fighters, the unsung freedom fighters, and they are countless amongst the ones that we already know and the national leaders, of course. So that's all. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please hit the like button, comment down below your views, share it with your family and friends, and subscribe to my channel History with Ishan for more updates from Indian history. Thank you so much. Take care, goodbye, and Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. Wishing you all a very happy 88th Independence Day once again. Thank you.